The stars looked the same as they always had when Captain Lisa Moore stepped onto the bridge of the TFS Scout. She had been patrolling the outer edge of human space for 3 months now, checking on the small colonies that dotted the far systems. It was quiet work, but someone had to do it. "Captain, we're getting something strange on the long-range sensors," said her communications officer, Lieutenant Pete Jackson. His voice had that edge that meant trouble was coming. Lisa walked over to look at the display. A massive shape was moving through space toward the Kepler 442b system. It was big, bigger than anything humans had ever built. The computer was trying to figure out what it was, but the readings made no sense. "How big are we talking about?" Lisa asked. "At least 5 kilometers long, maybe more." "The shape is weird, too. It's not like our ships at all," Pete replied, his fingers dancing over the controls to get a better reading. Lisa felt her stomach tighten. In all her years of space travel, she had never seen anything like this. Humans had been exploring space for over 200 years now, and they had never found another intelligent species. Until now, maybe. "Send a message to Admiral Harrison. Tell him we might have a first contact situation," she ordered. "And get Dr. Ben Carter up here. We're going to need him." Dr. Carter arrived on the bridge within minutes. He was a thin man with gray hair who had spent his whole life studying the possibility of alien life. His hands shook a little as he looked at the sensor readings. "This is it," he whispered. "This is what we've been waiting for." The alien ship moved closer over the next few hours. As it did, the sensors got a better look at it. The ship seemed to be made of some kind of crystal material that caught and bent light in strange ways. It had no visible weapons, but energy readings showed it had power sources that made human reactors look like candles. "Captain, they're sending us a message," Pete announced suddenly. "Put it on the main screen," Lisa said. The screen flickered, and then a face appeared. It was clearly not human. The creature had pale blue skin that seemed to glow softly. Its eyes were large and silver, with no visible pupils. When it spoke, its voice was smooth and musical, but the words it said made Lisa's blood run cold. "Primitive species of Sol 3, we come bearing the gift of enlightenment. Prepare to witness the glory of a superior civilization. We expect your immediate surrender and integration into our empire." The message ended, and the bridge fell silent. Dr. Carter was the first to speak. "They called us primitive. They expect us to surrender," he said quietly. Lisa felt anger rising in her chest. These aliens had traveled across space to tell humans they were nothing more than primitives who should be grateful to serve them. They had no idea what they were dealing with. "Send a reply," she ordered. "Tell them we're honored by their visit and would like to arrange a proper meeting to discuss their proposal." Dr. Carter looked surprised. "Captain, surely you're not considering—" "I'm buying time, Doctor," Lisa cut him off. "Pete, get me a secure channel to Admiral Harrison. Now." When Admiral Jake Harrison's face appeared on the screen, Lisa could see he had already heard about the alien ship. His jaw was set in the way it got when he was planning something dangerous. "Captain Moore, what's your assessment?" he asked. "They're powerful, sir. More powerful than anything we have. But they're also arrogant. They expected us to just roll over and surrender the moment they showed up." Harrison nodded slowly. "That's what I was hoping you'd say." "Dr. Carter, what do you think about their technology?" Dr. Carter leaned forward. "Their ship is incredible, Admiral. The materials, the power systems, the size of it. They're clearly far ahead of us in most areas." "Most areas," Harrison repeated. "But not all areas." Lisa understood what the Admiral was thinking. Humans had spent centuries fighting wars. They had turned warfare into a science. Every human ship was armed and ready for battle, even the ones that looked like simple cargo haulers. "What are your orders, sir?" Lisa asked. "Keep talking to them. Make them think we're impressed. Ask lots of questions about their technology and their empire. The more they talk, the more we learn," Harrison said. "And Captain, start moving toward the edge of the system. Make it look like you're running scared." "Understood, sir." Harrison's expression grew serious. "Lisa, they picked the wrong species to mess with. We've been preparing for this day since we first left Earth. Every human ship has weapons. Every human colony has defenses. We're not some primitive species that builds temples to honor visitors from the sky. After the call ended, Lisa turned to her crew. Pete, send another message to the aliens. Tell them we're moving to a safer distance to prepare for their arrival. Make it sound like we're afraid. Yes, Captain. As the scout moved away from the alien ship, Lisa thought about what was happening. The aliens had found humans and expected them to be amazed and grateful. They thought their superior technology would make humans bow down and worship them. They had no idea that every human ship in space was already moving into position. They didn't know about the hidden weapons platforms around every colony. They had never faced a species that had spent thousands of years perfecting the art of war. Dr. Carter was studying the alien ship's design. Captain, I think I understand their mistake. Look at these energy patterns. Their ship is built for show as much as function. It's designed to impress other species. What do you mean? They've conquered other aliens before, probably many times. But I think those other species were primitive when the aliens found them. Maybe they were still using stone tools or simple machines. A ship like this would seem like magic to them. Lisa nodded. But we're not primitive. We've been building starships for centuries. Exactly. They're using the same approach that worked on truly primitive species. They show up, demonstrate their superior technology, and expect immediate surrender. It's worked before, so they assume it will work again. The alien ship sent another message a few hours later. This time, the creature seemed slightly annoyed. Species of Sol 3, we grow impatient. Your delay shows disrespect to the collective. We have conquered 47 species across this region of space. Each showed proper gratitude for our guidance. Do not test our patience further. Lisa smiled as she recorded her reply. Great beings, we are overwhelmed by your magnificence. We need time to prepare our people for such an honor. Please tell us more about your great civilization so we can properly understand our place in it. As she sent the message, Lisa knew that Admiral Harrison's fleet was already moving. 200 warships were spreading throughout the system, using stealth technology to hide from the alien sensors. The aliens thought they were dealing with one small scout ship and some frightened colonists. They were about to learn that humans had a very different idea about how first contact should go. 3 days passed before the real alien fleet arrived. Captain Lisa Moore watched from the bridge of the TFS Scout as 12 massive ships dropped out of faster-than-light travel. Each one was even bigger than the first ship they had seen. These vessels looked different too, like they had been grown instead of built. Their surfaces moved and shifted like living skin, and they pulsed with strange organic light. My God, whispered Dr. Ben Carter as he stared at the display. Those ships are alive. Lieutenant Pete Jackson was frantically trying to scan the new arrivals. Captain, the energy readings are off the charts. These things make nuclear reactors look like flashlights. Lisa kept her voice calm, even though her heart was racing. Any word from Admiral Harrison? He's in position, Captain. All fleet units are ready and waiting for his signal. Pete replied quietly. The lead alien ship sent a new message. This time, it was not the same creature they had spoken to before. The new alien was larger, with darker blue skin and silver markings that seemed to move across its face like liquid metal. When it spoke, its voice carried authority that made the previous alien seem like a child. I am Elder Vexithara of the Zephyrian Collective. I have come personally to accept your species into our empire. Your delay has been noted and will be forgiven once you submit properly. Dr. Carter leaned closer to Lisa. This one is different, more important. Look at those markings on its face. I think they indicate rank or status. Elder Vexithera continued, speaking. We have conquered 47 species across this galactic arm. Each initially showed defiance, then awe, then grateful acceptance of our guidance. Your vessels are crude metal constructs. Our ships are living entities evolved over millennia. Submit now, and your species will be granted the honor of serving. The collective. Lisa had to bite her tongue to keep from laughing. These aliens really believed their own propaganda. They thought that just because their ships looked impressive, humans would fall down and worship them. Send our standard response, she told Pete. Tell them we're honored, but need more time to understand their greatness. While Pete sent the message, Lisa opened a secure channel to Commander Sarah Wells aboard the stealth destroyer TFS Phantom. Sarah's ship was one of dozens hiding in the asteroid field nearby, watching every move the alien fleet made. "Sarah, what do you see?" Lisa asked quietly. "They're beautiful ships, Lisa, but they're also predictable. The energy flows follow organic patterns. I can track where their power systems are just by watching the light pulses on their hulls," Sarah replied. "Chief Engineer Maya Rodriguez thinks she can figure out how to disrupt their systems." That was good news. Maya was the best weapons specialist in the fleet. If anyone could find a way to hurt these alien ships, it was her. Elder Vexithara was growing impatient. His next message came only an hour later, and his tone was sharper. "Species of Sol 3, your continued delay shows disrespect. We offer you the chance to join a great civilization that spans hundreds of worlds. Why do you hesitate? Are you so primitive that you cannot recognize opportunity?" Dr. Carter was studying the alien broadcasts carefully. "Captain, I think I understand their pattern now. They're used to dealing with species that have never seen advanced technology before. Every other species they conquered was probably still living in caves or simple villages when these aliens found them. So they show up with their fancy ships and the primitives think they're gods," Lisa said. "Exactly. But we're not primitives. We've been building starships for centuries. We know advanced technology when we see it. And we're not automatically impressed by it." The aliens decided to demonstrate their power. Elder Vexithara announced that they would show the humans what happened to those who resisted the collective. They targeted what appeared to be an empty asteroid field and fired their main weapons. The asteroid field exploded in brilliant light. Rocks that had floated in space for millions of years were turned to dust in seconds. The energy beam that destroyed them was unlike anything humans had ever seen. It seemed to bend reality itself, making space twist and warp around it. "Impressive," Lisa said calmly, even though she was shaken by the display. "Pete, make sure our friends saw that." What the aliens didn't know was that the asteroid field they had just destroyed used to house a mining station. Admiral Harrison had evacuated it 2 days ago and moved all the miners to safety. But the aliens had just given away valuable information about their weapons. Maya Rodriguez was already analyzing the energy signatures when Elder Vexthara sent another message. "Observe the power of the collective. This is the fate that awaits all who oppose us. Your crude weapons cannot match our evolved technology. Surrender now and we will be merciful." Lisa looked at Dr. Carter. "What do you think they'll do next?" "They're following a script, Captain. They've done this so many times before that it's become routine for them. First they arrive and demand surrender. Then they demonstrate their power when the primitives hesitate. Next they'll probably attack a target that looks important to force immediate compliance." The colony, Lisa realized. They're going to attack the colony on Kepler 442b. She was right. Within hours, the alien fleet began moving toward the planet where 50,000 human colonists lived and worked. Elder Vexithara broadcast a final warning. "We grow tired of your stubbornness. We will now demonstrate what happens to those who reject the collective's generous offer. Observe the fate of those who deny our gift." Lisa opened a channel to Admiral Harrison. "Sir, they're moving toward the planet." Harrison's face appeared on the screen and he was smiling. It was not a nice smile. "Perfect. They're doing exactly what we hoped they would do. All units prepare for Operation Surprise Party." Dr. Carter looked confused. "Operation Surprise Party?" "The Admiral has a sense of humor," Lisa explained. "Sarah, are you ready?" Commander Wells's voice came through the speakers. "More than ready, Captain. My crews have been waiting for this moment their whole lives." The alien fleet moved confidently toward the planet, their living ships pulsing with organic energy. They had no idea they were flying into a trap that had been 3 days in the making. Hidden throughout the system, 200 human warships waited in perfect silence. Elder Vexithara sent one last message to the planet below. "People of this world, your leaders have failed you. We offered them a place in a great civilization and they chose defiance. Now you will pay the price for their foolishness. Perhaps future generations will be wiser. That's when Admiral Harrison gave the signal. All ships, decloak. Show these aliens what humans do to uninvited guests. The empty space around the alien fleet suddenly erupted with light as hundreds of human ships appeared from nowhere. The aliens had expected to find frightened colonists. Instead, they found themselves surrounded by the most advanced military force humanity had ever assembled. Elder Vexithera's next transmission was very different from his previous confident speeches. His voice shook as he spoke. Impossible. How? Did primitives hide so many ships? Where did you get this technology? Admiral Harrison's reply was broadcast across all frequencies so every alien ship could hear it. We're not primitives, and we're not impressed. Welcome to human space. Hope, you're ready for a fight. The first shot fired in the battle came from Captain Ryan Foster aboard the heavy cruiser TFS Vengeance. His ship had been hiding behind the planet's largest moon, waiting for exactly this moment. The plasma cannon blast hit the nearest alien ship directly in what appeared to be its main power center. The alien vessel shuddered as its organic hull began to smoke and burn. For the first time in their long history of conquest, the Zephyrians were under attack. Direct hit, reported Lieutenant Commander Alex Stone from Admiral Harrison's flagship. Maya's modifications worked perfectly. The plasma frequency is disrupting their biological systems. Elder Vexithera's voice screamed across all communication channels. Impossible. Your primitive weapons cannot harm our evolved vessels, but his ship was already showing damage. The beautiful flowing patterns of light across its hull were flickering and going dark in places. Chief Engineer Maya Rodriguez had spent 3 days studying the aliens' energy signatures from their demonstration. She had figured out that their living ships operated on specific biological frequencies, just like any other living creature. All ships target their power nodes, Admiral Harrison commanded. Hit them where the lights are brightest. The human fleet opened fire from every direction. The aliens found themselves caught in a perfect crossfire with nowhere to run. Hundreds of plasma bolts and energy beams struck their ships from angles they had never expected. Commander Sarah Wells brought her stealth destroyer in, close to one of the alien vessels. "This is for thinking we're primitives," she said as she fired a full spread of torpedoes at point-blank range. The alien ship tried to return fire, but its weapons were designed to fight at long range. The massive energy beams that had destroyed the asteroid field were useless against small, fast-moving targets. Sarah's ship danced around the alien vessel like a fighter circling a giant. "Their weapons are too big," reported Pilot Commander Sam Mitchell as he led his fighter squadron against another alien ship. "They can't track us when we get close." Sam's fighters swarmed around the alien vessels like angry bees. The aliens had never faced anything like this before. Every species they had conquered fought the same way, with large ships firing at long range until one side was destroyed. They had no experience dealing with coordinated small unit tactics. Dr. Ben Carter watched the battle from the bridge of the TFS Scout, amazed by what he was seeing. "Captain Moore, look at their formation. They're bunching up together." Lisa saw what he meant. The alien ships were clustering together like frightened animals instead of spreading out to give themselves room to fight. They're scared. They don't know how to handle being attacked. On the alien flagship, Sub-Elder Catharian was trying to make sense of what was happening. He was young for a Zephyrian, only 300 years old, and this was his first conquest mission. Everything was going wrong. "Elder Vexithara, the humans have somehow surrounded us. Their weapons are specifically designed to harm our ships. How is this possible?" Vexithara was furious and confused. "They were supposed to surrender. Every species surrenders when they see our power. Why are they fighting?" The answer was simple, though the aliens didn't understand it yet. Humans had been fighting wars for thousands of years. They had learned that the best way to win a battle was to be prepared for it before it started. While the aliens had been making speeches and showing off, the humans had been studying their weaknesses and planning their attack. Captain Foster's ship fired again, this time using a new type of weapon Maya had designed specifically for this battle. The electromagnetic pulse burst hit the alien ship's organic systems like a disease, spreading through its living hull and shutting down critical functions. "Target is losing power," reported his weapons officer. "Their hull is going dark." The alien ship began to drift, its beautiful flowing lights fading to nothing. It was still alive, but barely. The first Zephyrian vessel had been defeated without being destroyed. Elder Vexithara realized his fleet was in serious trouble. All ships, retreat to Formation 7. Activate the shield harmonics. The alien ships tried to move into a defensive position, but the humans were ready for that too. Admiral Harrison had studied every recording of the alien movements from the past 3 days. He knew how they would react. Sarah, take your squadron around their left flank. Ryan, hit them from below. Sam, keep your fighters moving. Don't let them get a clear shot at anything. The battle became a masterpiece of human tactical thinking. Every ship knew exactly where to be and when to be there. The aliens had superior technology, but the humans had superior strategy. Maya Rodriguez was monitoring the battle from her position in the engineering section of Harrison's flagship. Admiral, I'm reading massive power fluctuations in their lead ship. I think their biological systems are starting to fail. Can you make it worse? Harrison asked. Give me 2 minutes and another direct hit on their main power center. Captain Foster was already lining up for another shot. This one's for all the species you conquered, he said as he fired. The plasma bolt struck Elder Vexthera's ship exactly where Maya had predicted it would do the most damage. The alien vessel's hull began to convulse like a dying animal. Its organic systems were shutting down one by one. Sub-Elder Kitharian transmitted a panicked message on the emergency frequency. They were prepared for us. How could primitives be prepared for us? They knew exactly how to hurt our ships. Dr. Carter heard the transmission and shook his head. They still don't understand. They keep calling us primitives. They can't accept that a species with crude technology could defeat them. Commander Wells's destroyer crippled another alien ship with a precisely aimed torpedo strike. 2 down, 10 to go, she reported cheerfully. The aliens tried one desperate tactic. 3 of their ships combined their energy beams into a single, massive blast aimed at Admiral Harrison's flagship. The beam was powerful enough to destroy a small moon, but Harrison had seen it coming. His ship rolled aside at the last second, and the energy beam missed by mere meters. The blast continued on and struck one of the aliens' own ships instead, destroying it instantly. They just shot down their own ship, Lieutenant Commander Stone reported in amazement. They're panicking, Harrison replied. When someone's been winning for too long, they don't know how to handle losing. Pilot Commander Mitchell brought his fighters in for another attack run. His squadron had already knocked out the weapon systems on 2 alien ships. These things are sitting ducks once you get past their shields, he reported. The tide of battle had turned completely. The aliens who had arrived expecting easy victory were now fighting for their lives. Their superior technology meant nothing when facing an enemy who had planned for every possibility. Elder Vexithara made one last, desperate transmission. You cannot defeat the collective. We have conquered worlds beyond counting. You are nothing but clever animals with metal toys. Admiral Harrison's reply was heard by every ship on both sides. We're not the ones losing this battle. Maybe it's time you learned the difference between conquering primitives and fighting soldiers. The warning signals came 3 hours after the battle ended. Long-range sensors detected hundreds of new alien ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the system. This was the main Zephyrian fleet, and it was massive. Admiral Kate Sullivan stood on the bridge of the TFS Liberty Prime, the largest warship Earth had ever built. She had arrived just in time with the home fleet, bringing Earth's most powerful ships to join the fight. Her vessel alone carried enough firepower to level a continent. Admiral Harrison, we count over 400 enemy ships incoming, she reported over the communication link. They've brought everything they have. Admiral Jake Harrison studied the sensor readings from his flagship. The new alien fleet was different from the first one. These ships were older, darker, and covered with what looked like battle scars. This was not a conquest fleet full of arrogant youngsters. This was the Zephyrian war machine, led by veterans who had been fighting for centuries. Dr. Emma Walsh, the fleet psychologist, reviewed the intercepted alien communications. Admiral, I'm reading massive psychological distress in their transmissions. The defeat of their advance fleet has created a crisis throughout their entire civilization. Explain, Harrison said. They've built their whole society on the idea that they're superior to everyone else. Losing to humans has shaken their fundamental beliefs. Some of their ships are already arguing with each other about whether to attack or retreat. The lead alien ship was different from any they had seen before. It was ancient and massive, covered in organic growths that looked like tumors. When its commander spoke, his voice carried the weight of centuries. I am Elder Prime Nethvaros, Supreme Commander of the Zephyrian Collective. I have personally overseen the conquest of 37 worlds. What you did to my advance fleet will not happen again. Captain Tony Garcia, commanding the medical frigate TFS Mercy, was monitoring the alien communications from a safe distance. His ship wasn't built for fighting, but it carried something the aliens had never seen before. Hidden in his medical bays were special nanobots that Dr. Walsh had designed specifically for biological ships. Harrison opened a channel to all human ships. This is it, people. They've brought everything they have, but so have we. Remember, we're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting to show the galaxy that humans don't bow down to bullies. Elder Prime Nethvaros made his intentions clear in a broadcast to the entire system. Humans of Sol 3, you have committed an unforgivable crime. You have dared to resist the collective. For this, your entire species will be destroyed. No mercy will be shown. No survivors will be taken. Dr. Walsh had been right about the psychological warfare. Harrison decided to use it. He opened a channel that would reach every alien ship in the system. Elder Prime Nethvaros, you sound scared. Your advance fleet thought they were invincible too. They learned differently. You expected awe, but found our warships instead. For centuries, you've conquered species that worshipped your technology. We are not impressed. The alien leader's response was filled with rage. Impossible! You are nothing but animals with crude machines. We have technology evolved over millions of years. Then why are you losing? Harrison replied calmly. The psychological attack worked perfectly. Several alien ships broke formation and charged ahead without orders. They were angry and wanted to prove their superiority. This was exactly what Harrison had hoped for. Captain Ryan Foster's heavy cruiser was waiting for them. Sarah, Sam, let's give these hotshots the same treatment we gave their friends. The charging alien ships ran straight into a crossfire from 3 different directions. Commander Sarah Wells's stealth destroyers appeared from behind asteroids. Pilot Commander Sam Mitchell's fighters swarmed them from above, and Foster's cruisers hit them head-on. But these aliens were different from the first group. They had experience in real combat, and they fought back hard. Energy beams lanced through space, and several human ships took damage. They're better fighters than the first bunch, reported Lieutenant Commander Alex Stone as he coordinated the battle from Harrison's flagship. That's when Captain Garcia made his move. His medical frigate approached the main alien fleet, transmitting on all emergency frequencies. Zephyrian vessels, this is a medical ship. We're here to collect your wounded. Please don't fire. The aliens were confused. In all their centuries of warfare, no enemy had ever offered to help their wounded. They hesitated just long enough for Garcia's real plan to work. The nanobots his ship had been quietly releasing into space reached the alien vessels. Dr. Walsh had designed them to look like medical healing bots, but they carried a different payload. Once they touched the organic hulls of the Zephyrian ships, they began shutting down their biological systems peacefully. One by one, the alien ships began to go dark. Their crews were unharmed, but their vessels were falling asleep. Elder Prime Nethvaros realized what was happening. Treachery! You use healing technology as a weapon. We use whatever works, Admiral Sullivan replied as her massive dreadnoughts moved into position. That's the difference between us and you. You rely on being superior, we rely on being smarter. The final battle was swift and decisive. The aliens who had spent millions of years conquering primitive civilizations found themselves outmatched by a species that had spent thousands of years learning how to fight wars. Some alien ships surrendered immediately. Others, like Elder Prime Nethvaros, fought to the end with desperate fury, but the outcome was never in doubt. Human tactical superiority, combined with their willingness to adapt and use unconventional methods, proved stronger than alien technology. When it was over, Elder Prime Nethaveros found himself captured and aboard Admiral Harrison's flagship. The ancient alien leader sat in the detention cell, staring at the walls in shock. Dr. Walsh visited him to try to understand the Zephyrian mindset. "Why are you so surprised that we won?" she asked. The old alien looked at her with silver eyes that had seen the conquest of dozens of worlds. "We expected to find another species seeking gods to worship. We have always been the superior ones. Every species we met was primitive, weak, grateful for our guidance." "But we're not primitive," Dr. Walsh said gently. "No," Nethaveros whispered. "You are something we never prepared for. You are the species that kills gods." Admiral Harrison made his final log entry that night as the combined human fleet secured the system and began processing alien prisoners. The Zephyrian Collective ruled through the assumption that advanced technology equals invincibility. They forgot that evolution's greatest weapon isn't bigger claws or thicker armor. It's the ability to learn, adapt, and overcome. Today, the galaxy learned that humanity doesn't just survive, we excel. The war was over, but the message had been sent throughout the galaxy. Humanity was not a species to be conquered. They were the species that other civilizations would have to reckon with. The age of human expansion into the stars had truly begun. Dr. Walsh's final report to Earth Command was simple. The aliens expected awe from primitives. Instead, they faced our warships and learned what happens when gods try to conquer soldiers.